Want to break down on some of the latest topics from cons to the pros? We interview many individuals to share their knowledge about the news stories surrounding the teams and its players. This is Nothing But That Sports Talk. Okay, welcome to Nothing But That Sports Talk. I'm Rafique Louison, and we're about to talk wrestling. And who better to talk wrestling than with those wrestling girls, or I should say half of them. Krista's not in, but in a future episode, we're going to get Krista in this episode.
Yes.
Now, what I want to talk about is, I want to give a little bit of breakdown of how those wrestling girls actually started, even though I was there. I remember I met you at a networking event one time where you was telling me that you and Krista was playing a wrestling podcast, and what do you know? It actually happened. 1 year later, you're having a 1 year celebration later in the year.
Yes.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about how the Those Wrestling Girls podcast started to tip off?
So it's funny that you said that too, because when we met, we knew each other, and me and you knew each other in different ways. And then we found out we both liked wrestling. And I was just like, oh my God. So then we were kind of like friends ever since. And I had met Krista a little while before that, and it was the same thing with her. Like, we worked together in a lot of different other ways at the time, but every time we got together, we wouldn't even talk about the work that we had to do. Like, all we would talk about was wrestling. And we were both really passionate about what the women were doing. So, because Krista and I are lifelong, we're literally like the same exact age. We grew up watching the Attitude Era, so we're like fans of The Rock, fans of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So we looked at them as larger than life people, you know, and you know how special wrestling is to, you know, especially as a kid. So for us as women of color, seeing women being presented in the same way that our heroes growing up, like Stone Cold and The Rock are now being treated in that same way, we were like, oh my God, this is so cool. So we were really passionate about it, and we wanted to basically chronicle and commentate on what was going on in the women's division of WWE in the same way the men's division is treated. So first we wanted to do a blog, and then we realized we both write for a profession, and we were like, okay, I don't think we don't want to write in our spare time, and we thought, you know, blogs are time consuming. We were like, let's do a podcast. And then we just kind of got it going, and then it just kind of like grew from there. And then now we can't believe we're going to be in a year.
Yeah, a full year. And I've watched a few episodes, and you were killing it, especially the one when you recapped WrestleMania weekend.
Oh,
that was the very first event we went to, the WWE Hall of Fame, the same one where, never mind, I'm not even going to get into it. You know what happened. Yeah. If you're watching, you're an idiot for what you did. We're not going to get into that. Yeah. But what we are going to get into is the fact that, what were your favorite episodes of the podcast you've done so far during this 1 year span?
It's important that we ask ourselves that, because me and Chris are always like so knee deep. But I would say the WrestleMania 35 recap was probably my favorite, only because it's WrestleMania.
Exactly.
So it's the Super Bowl of wrestling, and not even just WWE, but for a wrestling fan in general, it's kind of like the season finale. It's like the one big moment of the year, and then it took place in New York. So that's our hometown. So when I say Krista and I did everything, we did TakeOver, we did Hall of Fame, I did Access, she went to WrestleMania, we did Raw and Smackdown after WrestleMania. So we literally did everything that week. So being able to then come together on our podcast and talk about something as big as WrestleMania that took place in our hometown was so fun. And like, it was a longer episode, and you could just see, and it was just fresh off of it. Like, we literally recorded like that week, and we were just like exhausted, but we were like fresh off of it, and that was really fun. And then I would say our first episode was an Evolution recap, so that was special. We recently recorded an episode about women of color in WWE, which is not the most fun episode that we've done, but it was something that needed to be addressed because we're women of color talking about wrestling, and it's something that needs to be talked about. And that's not out just yet, but I can't wait for people to see that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair you mentioned women of color, especially since you have more African Americans being involved with WWE in the women's division, from Amber Moon to Naomi, me, you even had Tamina, all those girls. And a while back in the Attitude Era, you had China, rest in peace. Yeah. The women's division is just incredible. So incredible, it's even getting noticed on WWE 2K20. I don't know if you're a video gamer, but You should be into video game if you want to be invested into the women's division.
But that 2K announcement, like I called Krista, like she's already gonna get 2K because she has a system, and I was like, do I need to get a system just to play the story mode of the 4 horsewomen, like of the women's evolution? I might need to do that.
Yeah, I did buy WWE 2K19 last year when they started doing story mode, and the story mode just blossomed from how you started in the independent circuit to when Triple H gave you an offer just to take it away because you got into an altercation with a fan.
Oh my gosh.
And then come to find out the fan was actually the guy that's been mentoring you to get you to WWE in the first place. Yeah. Just to end your career because he felt, I'm going to miss you. I don't want you to go. Idiots.
I can't wait to play, and see how the women's evolution story mode is.
If you can't afford the game, you can just watch the YouTube videos of it.
Yeah, I could do that too.
And another thing you should watch YouTube videos of, reliving the SmackDown memories. And one of the reasons why I'm saying that is SmackDown is moving to Fox Sports.
Yeah, it's huge.
What do you think about that move?
When I heard it, I knew it was going to be huge because that's a main network. So, and I think it's something, because I listened to Something to Wrestle With podcast with Bruce Pritchard. It's like you should listen to it. It's the best wrestling podcast ever. And like when you hear them talk about television deals and all that kind of stuff, so I think this is something that Vince always wanted, was for his company to be on like a main network. So I knew it was huge when they announced it, but I think now that it's actually about to happen, I think the gravity of it is huge, and I think next week we're about to the wrestling landscape is going to be completely new and completely changed. Forever.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know. Between
the Monday Night Wars like set off a whole like we're in the midst of that, and it's like it's very exciting. So SmackDown being on Fox, I'm just excited. So like even the graphics elevate the I don't even know what to say, but it's big and you can feel it. You can feel it.
Yeah, you really can, because there's going to be so many legends coming back. Yeah. Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, aka the guy you saw at MSG.
Wait, Stone Cold's coming to the premiere of SmackDown on Fox?
Stone Cold's coming to the premiere. Didn't you see? Didn't you read the description?
No,
oh my gosh! Really? You saw him at MSG?
Wow, I did for the first time. It was amazing. That night was so cool.
Yeah, and I saw The Rock for the first time at the Barclays Center 5 years ago on Monday Night Raw.
Nice.
At least that was unexpected. Yeah. This one is not, because, and not to mention it's the 20-year anniversary of SmackDown.
Yeah, The Rock.
It all started when it was on UPN 9.
Wow, you just
on cable.
You threw it back.
And now you're getting it back on local television.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people weren't watching it when it was on local television. I started watching it when it was on local television, where Kurt Angle had that promo where he admitted, I never grew back my hair against the Big Show. And let's not forget the days where Brock Lesnar as a face was dominant back then, from being the youngest WWE champion ever to imploding the Big Show. Yeah. He was a victim of implosion 3 times.
Wow, he was.
And now Brock Lesnar has a chance to dethrone the first African-American WWE champion. Cool. Not counting The Rock. People keep saying The Rock counts as African-American. He's Samoan.
That's another debate one day.
Yeah. But nah, we think about the new revamped Monday Night Raw, especially with Seth Rollins had to defend his title against Rey Mysterio coming up.
I think that's going to be a really good match. I'm excited for Raw Monday. And just because, we're all about the women, we're looking out for this Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss match coming up on Monday. So that'll be.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm glad Sasha Banks came back, because the way how she came out pretending to be a face, only to like dethrone Natalia, she really brought a lot of attention.
Goosebumps just thinking about it.
And then not too long after that, Bayley flipped the script.
Yeah.
Obviously, they did not want Bayley turning heel without Sasha Banks turning heel. I was hoping Bayley never turned heel, just because she doesn't look like that type that play a heel superstar at any point in her WWE career.
I absolutely agree, Rafique. Well, no, I think she does have what it takes. I think it was a good idea now that it has happened, but I just never thought they would do it. Like I used to bet money with people like, oh, they'll never turn Bailey. Like Bailey's gonna be the John Cena, like uber baby face forever and ever and ever. And I was wrong, and I'm loving it because she's still portraying the same. Like I'm just being a good friend. I'm a role model for the kids.
Yeah,
like,
you can do that when you're a heel too. You really can.
Very well. The best heel doesn't think their actions are wrong, and that's what Bailey's doing.
And you know what's crazy? Growing up when I was a little kid, even back when I got back onto wrestling in the early 2000s when it was the Nexus and the John Laurinaitis, and along with The Rock, I used to hate heel superstars at one point. I really do, because of the fact that I took everything serious. I'm like, why are heel superstars always got to get us frustrated? Us casual fans frustrated. Especially that one time Laurinaitis dethroned Cena. I was upset when he lost that match.
Are you a John Cena fan?
Yes, I'm a John Cena.
He's following me on Twitter.
John Cena's following you on Twitter.
He's been going.
Good looking for that shout out.
Right? Are you on Twitter?
Yes.
Okay. He's doing a random follow spree, so you should follow him, and he may just follow you back.
Yeah, I'm loaded with pictures of wrestling fans, but I don't really have any pictures with John Cena, sadly. I used to write hard for Cena.
A lot of people, Rafique.
You see my...
You could rattle them off. You should do a slideshow and put it on YouTube or something. That's really cool, actually. You've met a lot of people.
Yeah, good to know. You really need to catch up. I've been sending you to places where they stay at, but you need to catch up.
But it's not easy for me to just, keep me posted. Keep keeping me posted.
Yeah, and I'm also going to keep you posted.
Especially of the New Day.
I'm also going to keep you posted on everything happening with the Bray Wyatt, the Fiend gimmick.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, you love him so much you don't want to see his friendship end at all.
No.
But honestly, I did not like that gimmick at the beginning. And I remember telling you that because there's so much. I'm like, why did they turn Bray Wyatt into Blue's Clues, into Pee-wee? Why?
And more clever than that, you know what I mean? It's very, it's just good.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
But something told me it's a sign that the evil within him is coming back.
Absolutely.
But we have seen a whole lot of evil from Bray Wyatt in this day and age, especially when he comes out and nearly does that claw move on Kane, Seth Rollins, and Jerry the King Lawler when he was only back for a one-time thing. Oh my God.
Everybody got to go.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Fiend's just making friends at the end of the day. He's just making friends.
The way he builds up for the Fiend coming out.
It's the best.
It's like...
It's some of the best stuff.
It makes The Undertaker and Kane look like child's play.
Ooh.
Literally.
That's a big statement, Rafi. That's a big statement. I think we need the new era attraction like that because the Undertaker is not going to be here forever. So I'm glad that the Fiend. I just don't want them to overexpose him.
I really don't think they're going to overexpose Bray Wyatt because he's...
Imagine they make him champion. Then well, you're right. Maybe not.
Yeah, but he's going to have to defend... But he's going to face either Seth Rollins or Rey Mysterio. Imagine Rey Mysterio versus Bray Wyatt at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, Ray.
Even you can sense that he's going to get dethroned.
Yeah, probably.
Because Rey Mysterio, as good of a guy he is, from win a Royal Rumble match despite being the only guy to go from #1 pick in the Royal Rumble all the way to win it all.
Yeah.
To all those incredible high-flying moves Rey Mysterio does, he's not going to last a minute against the Fiend.
No.
Let me in. Yeah, so it's just a lot to take in.
Yeah.
What are your favorite memories of SmackDown growing up now that we're about to build up for the move to Fox?
That's a really good question. My favorite SmackDown memories. I say the first episode, because I remember the first episode very, very, very vividly, because me and my sister were ecstatic that there was going to be another night of wrestling on. Like, you don't even know how excited we were. Because it was just like Monday Night Raw, then they had Heat for a little while, which was normally not really that good. And except the ones before a pay-per-view, but like to think, I was like, oh my God, and then it just carried the storylines from Raw at one point. So it was just like, oh my God, we get a whole nother day. Like, oh my God. And then there was a time where Stone Cold would go through these like hiatuses where he was like, well, now I know like he was either injured and stuff like that. But as a fan, you just watch TV hoping Stone Cold returns every day or every time you watch wrestling. So SmackDown was just another opportunity. Like, oh my God, like maybe he didn't show up on Raw, maybe he'll show up on SmackDown. So like for me, it was just another show, like another wrestling show for us. So it was exciting. So and then I remember the set with the circles, and it was cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite SmackDown memory per se, to be honest with you. I think I just, because I'm thinking back in the day, but recent SmackDown memories, I think anything that the women were doing at the time. I've been rewatching a lot of women's matches from like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, you mean the Ruthless Aggression
like,
era?
Mickie James and Becky Lynch were putting on like underrated, like really good matches back in those days. The SmackDown 6. A lot of those feuds are like kind of like underrated, like Carmella and Nikki Bella's feud, for example. Like those aren't like classic SmackDown memories, but I have a podcast about women's wrestling, so.
Yeah, you got a lot to say about that.
And Becky was the first SmackDown Women's Champion, and she's the man.
Yeah, until Sasha Banks dethrones her. No, I'm kidding.
I honestly do have a feeling I would be okay with that. I have a feeling that Sasha's going to take the belt at some point because I think that they want Becky on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Theories, opinions.
I know.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
And one last thing, which picks do you want to see in the upcoming WWE draft?
I was just asked this, and it's really hard to say. Because I want to see the 4 horsewomen together and interacting, but you can't have all 4 of them on one brand. So I don't know. I don't want to make picks. Like me and my co-hosts go through things like the draft. I want to be surprised. I just want to see like what happens and who gets.
Yeah, we all want to be surprised.
But if Sasha Banks wins the Raw Championship, then obviously she'll be on Raw. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And that'll do it with Nothing But That Sports Talk. I'm Rafique Louison, one half of those wrestling girls. Get the other one next time you come.
Yes, and please subscribe to Those Wrestling Girls on YouTube. We talk all things women's wrestling, and we just actually launched a Patreon account where we have a lot of exclusive content that's not on our podcast. So yeah, check us out. Follow us on social media and all that.
And to all the wrestling fans, get your head in the game.
Don't forget to check it out on YouTube or listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, and other streaming platforms. Thank you for staying tuned to Nothing But That Sports Talk.